They say living well is the best revenge. I disagree. Sometimes, watching someone lose everything they ever dreamed of is way more satisfying. This is a true story. Or at least, someone swears it happened. Either way, grab a drink because you're about to hear how one man got betrayed by his boss and made sure that betrayal cost him everything. Where to begin, huh? I guess it started right after the 2008 financial crash. I was a computer tech, fresh out of school, ready to start my life in a career that was supposed to be the future. And then, everything fell apart. The companies offering scholarships? Gone. The job offers? Gone. I couldn't afford college, and I couldn't find steady work. For years, I bounced between dead-end jobs. I'd work, save up a little, get fired, burn through my savings looking for the next gig. Rinse and repeat. By my late 20s, I'd had enough. I decided to follow in my late father's footsteps and become a welder. And just like fate was listening, a government program popped up that paid for the entire thing. I took the course, passed, and within days, I was offered a job as a field welder. That's where I met him. The man this whole story is about. Let's call him Rat Boss, or RB for short. RB ran a small field welding company. About 6 guys traveling across Europe, working job to job. He told me he'd take me under his wing, teach me real welding, not the schoolyard crap. And honestly, for the first 6 years, it was incredible. Yeah, the work was hard, sun up to sundown, 7 days a week, gone from home for over a month sometimes. But the adventure, the camaraderie, the feeling of being part of something, it made it all worth it. We weren't just coworkers, we were like brothers. And RB, back then, he was the kind of boss people write good stories about. I remember once he took out a high-interest loan just to pay our wages on time because a client was late paying him. He could have asked us to wait, but he didn't. I respected the hell out of him for that. But by year 7, something changed. Most of the original crew had left. The travel was too much. They missed their families. RB stopped traveling, set me up as foreman. He stayed home while I ran the fieldwork. At first it was fine. I got the job done, hired new guys as needed. But the people RB was sending me, trash, drunks, thieves, addicts, guys who didn't care about the work, just wanted quick cash. And then, the pandemic hit. Everything paused. At first I didn't mind. I had savings. I was used to rainy days. But when work started back up, the quality of people went down even further. And worse, the money started coming in late. Travel expenses weren't refunded. And RB started playing games with wages, net pay, gross pay, creative accounting crap. Then came the night that broke me. 3 a.m. Customer calls me. One of the guys I was managing had been arrested for drunk and disorderly. Didn't have ID on him, only the company badge. So they woke up the client, who woke up me. I had to get out of bed, go to the police station, and clean up that disaster. That's when I knew. I was done. When I got home, I sat down with RB. Told him this had to end. Time to settle accounts. He owed me a lot. And I mean a lot. A full year of unpaid travel expenses. Nearly 6 months of sick leave payments that were legally mine. He apologized. Said his wife, who co-ran the business, was fighting him over money. He begged me to hang on just a little longer. Promised me he'd pay half of what he owed by the end of September. I didn't fully trust him, but I agreed. We had 7 years of history. I wanted to believe. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. A couple months later, I confronted him again. Told him the September deadline was non-negotiable. He smiled, this fake plastic grin that made my skin crawl. I gave him this look, the kind of look that says, "Don't play games with me." He dropped the smile. I left. That weekend, he sent me a text. Said he had a new crew lined up and was going abroad to meet a client. And instantly, I knew he was going to run. He was going to screw me over. I made up my mind. If that money didn't come in by the date, I was gone. But then, fate twisted the knife. I slipped at work. Destroyed my ankle. Emergency surgery, 6 months minimum to walk again. Guess what happened to the money he owed me? Didn't come. Not a cent. Not even my regular wages. And since my injury happened on the job, I was supposed to get sick leave payments, funded by the government, passed through him to me. I got nothing. I was flat broke. My house repairs went ahead. My mother used my savings to pay the workers. I was bedridden, broke, desperate, and I had to cash out an investment meant to fund me for life. Just to survive. And RB, silent, ghosted me. Left me to rot. That's when something in me snapped. This man wasn't my friend, but he was a rat, a liar, a thief, and I was going to bury him. See, as his foreman, I knew everything. The paperwork, the violations, the fraud, every dirty little secret. So when I was finally able to move, hobbling on painkillers, I went to every government office that would listen. The labor inspectorate. They practically gasped when they saw the files. "My God," the woman whispered. "He's broken half the labor laws in the country." And then the hammer dropped. His accounts? Frozen. His business licenses? suspended, his passport revoked. He had to fire his entire crew and pay severance he couldn't afford. He went bankrupt. And that dream home, the house he'd been building brick by brick for 7 years, gone. Sold to pay the fines. He was forced back into the tiny apartment he hated, his whole family crammed in together with no way out. And me, I survived. He called me once, screaming, cursing, asking how I could do this to him. I let him rage. Then I told him, "You betrayed me after 7 years, left me to rot. You're a rat. Don't ever call me again. Talk to my lawyer." And I hung up. In the end, I only got 1 month's worth of sick leave money back. But it didn't matter, because he lost everything. No eye for an eye, no tooth for a tooth. I took the whole damn head. And I sleep just fine. You know, they say revenge doesn't pay. But watching someone burn while you sip tea? Priceless. If you like this story, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe for more stories that'll make you question humanity, and maybe laugh a little along the way. See you in the next one.